Yo, today I want to come on here and talk about something that I don't see going anywhere in the near future, and that's vertical content. Once vertical came out and companies and people were creating different vertical content, I was instantly against it. I couldn't understand why you would want to turn the camera on the side and film vertically. Our eyes see horizontal. The world is 16 by 9. My favorite movies are 16 by 9. Vertical made no sense to me. Like most filmmakers, I grew up watching movies and TV shows, and I got into this industry with the hope to one day make those things. Not saying that if you make vertical content, you'll never make movies and you'll never make TV shows. We understand that the world is changing. And the vertical content that I was getting asked to make, it usually came with these 3 letters attached to it. And those letters are UGC. And what UGC stands for is user generated content. It's basically make your content look like it's made by a content creator. It's supposed to look like everyday people can do it. It's not supposed to look like your Hollywood movie. It's not supposed to look like your big commercial. And that was hard for me because that's what I'm spending my career trying to build. That's the look I'm trying to build for all of my work that I put out to the world. But lately, I've been working on some projects that allow me to blend the world of social and commercial. I directed a project for Nike where I got to help release a Nike dunk and sit down with some of the people behind the creation of that dunk. And knowing that I had a helping hand in releasing the Philly dunk, it still feels sometimes unreal to me. I look at that project, it just takes me back from when I was a kid and I always dreamed of working on a Nike project. Then I directed and DP'd a couple different social spots for Meta and MTA in New York. These spots were to help release a Metro card that a couple different influencers with big followings, they all designed their own card, and this spot was to help roll that card out in certain subway stations around New York. While these projects were great, they weren't the ones that sold me on shooting 9x16. I actually shot both of these projects 16 by 9 and then cropped for vertical. Flipping the camera on the side and shooting vertical just killed me. I just couldn't do it. Until one project came along and changed my opinion on vertical, and it was this one. This project was a social piece for a Valley Forge 5K run. It's crazy how a mascot promo could make me trust vertical. It's not the flashiest project, it didn't have the biggest budget, but it was the first time that I stepped out on faith, I trusted the process, and I turned my camera 9x16. This project came from a director named Josh. He runs a company called Pell Productions. We've done a bunch of cool projects for a bunch of cool brands. When Josh presented this project to me, he said to me, I just have one thing that I want to ask you, Byron, and that's, can we shoot this project vertical? My stomach started hurting. Instantly, I was like, bro, the reason why my stomach hurt, the reason why I felt that pain and I didn't want to do it, I've done Valley Forge commercials before. I filmed at this location before. I knew how beautiful this place could be 16 by 9. And to think that you want to turn the camera 9x16 and shoot this project this way made my stomach hurt. It made me feel like, what are we doing? I went back and forth with Josh about shooting 16 by 9 and cropping it. The camera that we were using could shoot 4K. It was a 1080p deliverable. We had space to scale left and right, up and down. I tried everything to fight my case on why I didn't want to turn the camera vertically. I would tell Josh, you know, once we turn that camera on its side, and if the client says that they want to put this on TV to help promote the race, and if they want to take this and use this for future TV spots down the line, once we flip that camera 9x16, we are cooked. It is over, bro. We cannot go back. We are done. There's nothing else we can do once we flip that camera vertical. I had to pray on this one, and I had to pray for peace. I had to pray for guidance. I had to pray that everything would go right. And then I also had to submit to this project. That's where the true change really came with this project. When I fully submitted and I said, you know what? I'm gonna shoot this thing 9x16. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm gonna trust Josh. He's done this before. I'm just gonna give it all. I'm gonna give it all to God. I'm gonna say, all right, if you want me to shoot 9x16, if you want me to learn something new here, if you want me to turn that camera on its side and shoot this thing that way, then I'm gonna buy in, Laura. I'm gonna buy in. We scouted the project a few days before our shoot, and I still shot all of the scout photos horizontal. I thought I was all the way in. I thought I bought into the process. I publicly announced it. I said it to Josh that I was going to do this thing 9x16, and I don't know what came over me. I still wanted to turn the camera 16x9 and shoot it that way. This is where I leaned into the process. I thought to myself, even if I don't want to do it, it might be a moment of growth. But in order for me to grow, I had to submit and get out of my own way and do what's best for the project. It's in these moments where we get out of our own way, that's where we can learn something. That's where we can grow. It took me about a half a shoot day to truly trust the vertical process. Even when we were filming certain scenes, I would look at Josh and I would flip the camera back to 16x9 and say, I know we just got a good image 9x16, but Josh, look at what it could be. And he would laugh at me. He would be like, yeah, but the frame looks great. Like, I'm happy with it and it looks great. And I was happy too. I was happy with the images I was creating. I'm not saying I'm done shooting 16x9, but I'm okay now with turning the camera on its side. I even added a social page on my website where now I'm sharing all of the 9x16 things that I've done before. We actually had a shoot a couple weeks later that was full vertical, and not once did I think to turn that camera on its side. That's how I know I've truly submitted to the process, and that new tool that I've added to my toolkit is not just about me shooting 16x9 anymore. It's about me growing, it's about me learning. You just have to switch your brain in the way of thinking. You're no longer shooting the side, so maybe the lens is wider, maybe you back up a little bit. It made me think about composition in a different way, which as a filmmaker, as a person who was crafting a look and telling a story, composition should be a tool. It should be a tool to help you tell your story. It should be a tool to guide you and make the right decisions to tell the story. If something pushes you out of your comfort zone, lean into it. Most of the time it's to challenge you so you can get growth on the other side. And that's all I have, and I'm out. Peace, 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 peace.